Hey, how's it going? Checking in for today and progress, things I've done moving forwards towards my goals of becoming a professional motivational speaker. That's pretty much how I started the first 400 or so of these videos. I think up to 660-ish now. And that was what they were about then when I started, and it's what they're still about now. But if you've been watching any of these videos, certainly any of the recent ones, it's not just about the big, grand steps that I've made moving forwards. It's just the little things and the thoughts and the kind of feelings about the progress or the lack of progress, which has been kind of mainly the things that I've had to reflect on, has to be said. But today has been a day of reflecting on yesterday, and I have to say the whole experience yesterday be very hard to top that. Certainly, it's been the highlight of my speaking career so far. Just absolutely loved everything about the day and the conference. It was just so much fun. Thinking back to the Experian talk I gave back in April, I felt similarly then as well, and that was at the Celtic Manor, big stage, amazing setup, great company to work with, great audience, great opportunity. And I felt very similarly then as well. Kind of between the two of them, there's not much to choose really, but I think yesterday probably just about takes the edge in terms of how I enjoyed it. And actually, that's probably not just because of the session itself. Very different sessions. It was only 40 minutes long yesterday, the keynote, and Experian was 70 minutes, so or 75 minutes even. So a very different type of session that was a bit more workshopy as well. And also yesterday, I had so much more of an opportunity to mingle, to speak to people afterwards, and it was just great being able to be around people and kind of find out more about what they're doing. I think with the Experian talk, everybody's working for the same company, and so it was much less about finding out about where they've come from and their kind of backgrounds. And there wasn't really that opportunity because when I'd finished my talk and then the next talk, everyone literally just disappeared off, and that was the end of the conference. So I just didn't really have that opportunity then. I think that might have been part of why I enjoyed yesterday so much, because there was the speaking, but then in fact, yeah, that is what it is, because it's getting an understanding of what the impact was, and the challenge as a speaker is not really knowing how it's landed, how the content has landed. Whereas yesterday, I got a really good feel for that because of the feedback I got pretty much immediately, because I finished my session was the last session before the break, and I just chatted to so many people afterwards who were kind of very very kind about said lots of kind things about the talk and how they found it. So I think it helped as well having another exceptional speech just before mine as well, which was the Susan Greenfield, Baroness Susan Greenfield, should I say, talk about neuroscience and dementia and some kind of pretty hard-hitting stuff there, but also very, very powerful and very humorous as well in parts as well. She's very kind of a very good, accomplished speaker as well as a scientist. And so there was her talk, then my talk. So people were on a real high when they went into the break, and it was just kind of a great atmosphere to be in and around. So lots to take away, lots to process from that. There's things in the speech, like I said in my check-in yesterday, I was very happy with how it went and the delivery. I felt very comfortable on the stage, but there was probably still a few things that I'd change, that I'd do differently. Working on such a big stage was a challenge. There were a couple of things that sort of threw me a little bit. The comfort monitors, for example, which are just the monitors at the front of the stage that show you what the slides are. They were set back from the front of the stage, which meant that when I was at the very front, I couldn't see the slides, so I had to sort of look back, which is a bit of a presenting no-no. But I spent a little bit of time trying to figure that out whilst delivering as well. But got some good feedback about my general movement, which I was pleased about, because it was one of the things that I was specifically trying to work on. with such a big auditorium, moving around, so spending a bit of time on the left of the stage, talking to that part of the audience, a bit of time in the middle, a bit of time on the right, making sure I'm connecting with those at the back of the room. So these are all things that I've been working on and sort of consciously putting into practice yesterday. And a couple of comments and feedback I'd had from that were based on that it was the movement was pretty good. So I'm happy with that. But again, still things I could probably improve on there. Also did the whole thing with no notes, not even a safety net notes, which I figured that would be the case, because the only place I could have had them would have been on the lectern, which was sort of jammed right in the corner, which would have meant really backtracking to the lectern to check notes, and it really wouldn't have felt right with the flow of the speech. So I just worked hard on the transitions. I think I mentioned that in a couple of sessions ago, a couple of these videos ago. Not just the content, but the actual transitions between the pieces as well, because that's the bit that I think is probably the most important for me anyway. Once I get into my flow, it's fine, but transitioning from one point to the next is the bit that I often struggle with, and I felt like I did that reasonably well yesterday as well. So all in all, a good day of reflecting on that and thinking about how much more I just want to be doing this. There's been some really good feedback on Twitter as well. Lots of people again saying lots of nice things and sort of paraphrasing some of the things that I'd said, which is good, because again, that shows me how the content has landed, what the key takeaways were from some of the people. And it'd be great if in the next week or two, if there is some feedback, not just feedback, but kind of follow-ups about other opportunities. And I don't know how that works. I know that Diana, my agent, she said that a lot of the speakers that she's had speaking at this event, and she's placed speakers like Terry Waite, Simon Weston, Dame Stella Rimington, Dave Coplin, Helen Sharman, to name but a few. And then this morning she had Penny Mallory there, British racing driver. So she's had some really good speakers there who have then gone on to get a lot more work from the audience, from recommendations and connections there. So I'm not counting any chickens. I'm not there's nothing guaranteed in that respect, but it would be really good to get something else out of the back end of that as well. So I feel like I've done a good job. I've had the sort of impact that I wanted to have, and now all there is that to absolutely make this the perfect event for me would be to get some more bookings off the back of it. So as always, I shall be keeping you posted with any progress there. But that's my check-in for the day. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check back again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.